You gotta check this out. I've always wanted something like this, but it's always been too expensive. But finally, we have an affordable Airbus FCU and EFIS panel for a decent price, and it's really easy to put together. All right, I'm gonna place the EFIS on its side, makes it easier to access. We're gonna basically put this stand here on the side of it and line it up with those golden screw holes. And we're gonna use the screws that they gave me in the box. And we'll place them in here. That is good, and I can literally just set that on its side just like that. And what we're gonna do is now, we're gonna attach this to this. As you can see, I've already done half of it, just so I knew what I was doing. But I'm gonna go ahead and flip it around, bring it around town. And you can see this is how it's set up. So it has this little cord that goes from the main FCU, which you do have to have the FCU for all this to work. And it goes to the EFIS here. Just put this one cord. So all you need is that one USB and a power cable here on the back. And everything else is powered by that, which is one thing I really like, is that you don't have to use a million USB cables in order to make this work. So the way we put this together is we are gonna be basically take out this screw, actually not that screw, we're gonna take out this screw, and which is this screw right here. And then we're gonna take out these two screws on the end here, and basically gonna combine them together. So let's do that now. They also give you this nice little screwdriver. I'm keeping this. I'm 100% keeping it. So first I'm gonna start here by undoing this guy. And very easy to do it, not too tight. And I'm gonna hold it in the back because it's a very small screw until it falls out. Flip it over. There we go, save those. Now do the same thing with this guy. So taking out this top screw on the left and the bottom screw on the left also. We'll unscrew that. There we go, as a second one, and we'll flip it over, and they're both gonna fall out just like that. They also gave me these two little plastic pieces, and these will actually secure in the back and connect this to that. I'll show you how. And this guy is gonna just fall right here. But first, we need the screws. So, surgical precision. So after you take out these screws, there's actually a longer one you need to reinstall. So don't reinstall the same one, take the longer one. So I'm gonna push that all the way through and now slide that through there and use the previous tiny little nut that they gave us. This is the hardest part, honestly, is because it's so small, your finger can't even fit through there. And what I do is I just hold the end of it to give it some traction there so I can go through. And there it is, just like that. You do the exact same thing on the other end. So we have the two longer screws, which will slide through the front side of the EFIS and FCU, like that. Be careful not to scratch the front for those who want a good presentation. And then we'll put this guy down here, like that. And then we'll take the tiny little screws or nuts on the other end. And what I like about this way of mounting these together is that it's really unobtrusive. It's not in the way, it's not distracting. When you put it together, it looks very clean. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't see, like, it doesn't look like there's a bunch of screws in there, but there are, you know, so that's nice. And the same thing with the back. The back is very clean too. So the last piece of this puzzle is gonna be this little connector adapter. So we're gonna take this and just plug it into these two holes right here. Just make sure you're putting it in the right place. I think this one goes this way. Yep, just push it in and push it in like that. Cool. Now you don't want to put too much weight on the back side of this while you're doing all this, but like that, I just kind of press that in like that, and that is good to go. And then all we have left is the USB and the power, which I'm not even going to show because that's self-explanatory. But yeah, here it is. And look at that. This thing is so light, even after you put it all together. This is so cool. So cool. Can't wait to go flying with this baby. Oh yeah, and I almost forgot, it comes with this little page of stickies. So you can actually place this on the bottom of your WinWing FCU, and it'll actually stick to your desk or whatever you're using. So if you need a more secure way of securing this to your desk and you can't screw it in, you can just use these double-sided stickers. And as a quick side note, I want to kind of show you guys this. Some of you guys may remember I did a review of the Mini FCU Kickstarter project, which is what this is right here. Is what I previously was using for my Airbus Autopilot and everything like that. And then a side-by-side look at it with the WinWing. So obviously a little bit smaller than this. Even the color is actually slightly different. But anyways, I'm not gonna get too deep into that. I just want to kind of show you guys this, a visual difference of the two. This will have to be a completely different dedicated video to compare the two in specifics. But we'll be moving on to the WinWing now. Okay, over at the desk, and let's go to the back and plug it in. I think I was incorrect. It's actually only a USB, not a power cable. So USB also supplies power, and oh, look at that, we have lights. It lives. Oh, that looks nice too. All right, let's get it calibrated. All right, and over to the desktop, I'm gonna open up the Sim App Pro that I downloaded from WinWing's download section on the website, and it should pop up just like that there on the top of my screen. You can see we got all 3 devices, including my actual WinWing Ursa Minor side stick as well. But we'll go ahead and click on the left EFIS and make sure this is good to go. Check the firmware. Firmware seems. We'll go ahead and click update. I'm not sure if it is up to date, but we'll go ahead and click update. Make sure that it is up to date. Other devices must be unplugged. Okay. So you can see it's turned off, and now it's going through the update process. There it is. It's repowered back on, and I believe, yeah, it looks like current firmware version looks good for all 3 devices. I think it updated all of them at once, which is nice. That is good. So 99, 99, 97, 97, and 16, 16. So that's good to go there. We can go to the test page. It's actually a pretty cool page. I can reach up here, and as I am pressing buttons, it's actually going through there and detecting them. You can also see them light up. So make sure to go through here. First time plugging it in, I think it's a good time. So just kind of go through and make sure that everything indeed works, because you never know, you could get a defect or something like that. So I'm just gonna go through and press all of the buttons and make sure they're all being detected and working. That's good, all the lights are working, all the back lights are working. No way. No way. Yo, y'all gotta check this out. Check this out. I was just doing some testing. I didn't think this was actually gonna work, but I'm in X-Plane. I just loaded up X-Plane. This is X-Plane 12, and the EFIS and FCU just came to life. Lights on, everything, and right now it is actually in sync. Let's see if it works. Look, I'm changing it here, and it's changing up there as well at the same time. Wow, 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 wow. I mean, it seems like an obvious thing for it to work in X-Plane, right? But I don't know, like a lot of things, for whatever reason, they forget about X-Plane. They don't support X-Plane, at least not out of the box. Like, I was expecting to have to download something. I didn't do any drivers. I literally just plugged this in. And obviously I updated the firmware with the program, and then I booted up X-Plane, and I'm in the Tolless A320neo. I should clarify that, and it's just working. So, wow. I was about to hop in Microsoft Flight Sim, but I thought I'd give X-Plane a try first to see if it worked, and it works out of the box. Love it. That's all I need to see. That's all I needed to see. All right, let's move on to Microsoft Flight Sim. All right, here we are in Microsoft Flight Simulator in the Phoenix A320. Now, I've already done some testing for you. I've already tried the fly-by-wire A320, the Asobo Ionite Builds A320 V2, and I've tried the 319 and 321s, all in Microsoft Flight Sim, and they all work. The only issue I've found is that in the A321, this display here does not actually pop up, so I'm pretty sure that is a bug, but you can still actually manipulate everything. So I'm gonna show you that real quick, walk you through, zoom in here to the actual FCU panel, and we'll kind of go through and see if everything's in sync. So we'll start off to the left side. We already obviously have our barometric pressure set. That's working. Man, I love how this feels. You can very quickly swap out, and look how that's very in sync, no lag at all. We have a flight director button, which actually works and lights up in green, as well as the ILS button. That's actually really cool. I'll leave that on. We have the constraint button, the waypoints, VOR, NDB, airport. I'll leave it on constraint. We have our map tools, or our map controls, so our navigation, arc, plan, VOR, ILS. All that stuff is working, and it's perfectly in sync, no issues at all. Now this button down here, the ADF VOR, it's actually you pull it out and then you let go. So you pull it out and then you turn it, or I shouldn't say turn, you pull and push. So that way I can't just turn it, right? I have to actually pull it out to turn it. So that's really cool. I honestly didn't even know that's how it mechanically worked in a 320. So I learned something new just from using this panel. We have our map tools here to zoom in and out of our map, and again, everything does work. I'm not in the right. Go to arc here. If we go to plan mode, we can zoom out. So that is as working. Beautiful. And then we'll slide over to the center autopilot panel. Let me just remind you, in case you missed it earlier on the video, these parts are sold separately. So you have the FCU autopilot panel here in the middle, which is where all your autopilot controls are, and then you have your EFIS on the left and on the right. So just want to make sure that is clear. So anyways, before we go to the autopilot though, which is honestly one of my favorite parts, if I go here in Microsoft Flight Sim, I can actually make this brighter or dimmer right here with the dimming switch. So that's actually simulated, and you can see that fading in and fading out. That's pretty cool. Now, it would be nice if we actually had that dimming switch down here on the bottom, but you know what? It's not really necessary, but it'd be a cool thing to have. So we have our speed mark button here. We have our speed control, which we can change, again, perfectly in sync. That does push in and pull out. And then we have the heading, again, push and pull. Autopilot is all based on a push and pull system for all their controls. We have our localizer button, which is not gonna work right now because we're sitting on the ground. We have our autopilot button, which again, none of this is gonna really work at the moment, but that's working. Nice. We have our actual altitude as well. So we can set this for like, I don't know, 25,000. We'll do a little test flight for takeoff. We can push that in as well, or pull it out for OP climb. We have our expedite button. Again, most of this stuff is not going to work right now because we are actually still sitting here on the ground. Vertical speed, which we can set, pull out and push in just like that. So that's pretty nice. And then over to the right, same thing we had on the left. So the same thing, your co-pilot control. So honestly, if you don't see that it makes sense for you to have the entire 3-piece, you could just get the 2-piece. You can get the left and the center, so you have everything you need for the pilot. But if you want that extra bit of immersion, you could add on that right panel. But it does the same thing as the left, lights up everything as well. So pretty cool. So changing the QHs, changing altitude, all that stuff like that, it's gonna be so much easier from now on. And I love the way it fits on my desk. So let's go for a quick takeoff and we'll try it out. There we go. All right, so autopilot on. Right now we're on runway heading basically, and we'll use vertical speed 3,000 feet and make a right-hand turn. Aircraft should start turning on its own, which is exactly what it's doing. You gotta love the Phoenix. And we should slow down to 250 knots because that is what we have set right now on the FCU. And it looks like that's exactly what's gonna happen. If I want to as well, I can zoom my map out for a better picture. Situation awareness. Like that is good. If I was coming in for the ILS, I can hit my ILS button, which is not gonna be dialed in because of reasons. I can also hit standard on the EFIS, but obviously we're too low for that in the United States flying right now. But yeah, everything is working. We can kind of make a turnaround, put that in nav mode and make a 180 turn. And this is it. I mean, it just works. It's basically plug and play. You install the application, update the driver, start up Microsoft Flight Sim, and that's literally it. or X-Plane, if that's what you prefer. So definitely very happy with it. I love the way it fits on my desk. I love the lighting. If you want to turn the lights down, like in this particular scenario where it's kind of flying in the daytime, I can do exactly that in the cockpit. So I couldn't recommend this enough. And honestly, I've always been wanting something like this at an affordable price too. And it's actually really easy to put together. So really enjoying this. I'm gonna be using this for every single Airbus flight I do going forward. And I know some of you guys may wonder, wait, what about, like, I mean, this is cool for Airbus, but what if you fly other types of aircraft? Well, I can confirm that there are some mods up on flightsim.to that will allow you to use MobiFlight and the MobiFlight profile to sync this up with other aircraft types, which you can see here. We've had some mods for the 737 MAX, the Black Square TBM, General Plane, 787, BAE 146. Now, I have not personally tested any of these, but that's what these are made for, so that you can actually enjoy and use your WinWing FCU with other aircraft types. I think that's important because, you know, many of us don't only fly Airbus. Yeah, and I'll tell you, if you've never had like a physical device for autopilot panel, I mean, if you fly airliners a lot, that's kind of how you control your plane. You always are reaching up here trying to change things. It's a big game changer. Even if you had like a radio panel, being able to change the radios, it's just so much easier for you to kind of manage the workload of the aircraft rather than moving your whole view over and using your scroll wheel mouse to do things in the aircraft. So super valuable, and I think they did a good job on the affordability of it. So couldn't recommend it enough. I love it. I'm gonna be using it for here on out. I mean, what more is there to say? It does what it's advertised to do. It works well. It's easy. And if you're an Airbus person, I mean, it's an easy one. I mean, it's a must-have in my opinion. I mean, you don't have to have it, right? You could obviously use a 3D cockpit, but this just adds that next level of just kind of ease of use, you know, whenever you're flying the aircraft. It's just nice. It's nice to be able to touch and feel the buttons when you're flying these aircraft. And so, yes, I would highly, highly recommend it. And let me know what you think. What do you think? Is this, you think it'll be worth it for you? Is it, you know, is it because it's Airbus? You're like, nah, I gotta have a Boeing one. Well, guess what? WinWing I think is also working on the Boeing one. Don't quote me on that. But anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. And remember, you have 3 choices: give up, give in, and give it all you got. Peace, love, and God bless you. I'll see you guys next time, next video. I'm out. See ya.